This video will show how high throughput sample processing can be streamlined by combining two CytoSure Interpret software features, which make it possible to automatically associate feature extracted data with samples that are already in the software database. The first step is to import the sample data. The sample information you wish to import needs to be in a text file format. This could be generated from a LIMS system or created manually by the user in Excel and saved as a text file. Here is an example of a basic Excel template which can be provided by OGT. The text file will need to have array barcode and sample ID as a minimum. Users also have the option to include other columns as required. But to import the information contained in additional columns, the user will first have to create the relevant data input field in the software. This can be done in the Database Management tab, under the Sample Data or Experiment Details page. As an example, we will add a date of birth field to the Sample Details page. Click on the Add New Field button, give the new field a name, and select the data type for the new field from the drop-down list. The new field will now appear underneath any existing fields. Now, when any sample information for date of birth is imported via a parser, the information will be assigned to this field. We shall now generate a text file using the OGT template. First, we enter the slide barcode that will be used in the experiment into the first highlighted yellow field. Hit return and the subsequent 8 subarray positions will automatically be populated and the data concatenated into the array barcode column which is required by the software. Up to 6 additional slide details can be added to this template. Now enter the sample ID information and any other sample details in your text file. We will add the date of birth information to this sheet. And finally, save the sheet as a tab delimited text file. Once the text file has been generated, it is necessary to create a file parser to import the information into the software. Go to the Database Management tab and click on the paperclip icon. Navigate to the text file created earlier and click Open. The Create Parser window will now appear. Give the file parser a name. Select the column separation character used, in this case was tab, and next click on each column header in turn and assign it to the relevant heading from the list in either the basic field or custom field setting, using the drop-down box. Click on the Update button at the bottom of the screen to confirm each change. It's important to note that the array barcode information must be assigned into the Custom Field section and under Experiment, General, Expected Barcode Position. At the top of the file parser window, select File Type as 1 sample per line. Make sure you check the box Automatically create samples and experiments if required. And finally, choose to import from line 2, which will remove the headers from the text file. Click on the Update button in the top section to confirm the file parser changes. Once created, the same file parser can be used to import sample information every time as long as the text file format remains the same. Click on the Load Data button and when prompted to import the test file, click Yes. A checkbox will appear displaying the lines in the text file where the software has failed to find any information. The error should start after the last line containing the sample information. If this looks correct, click Yes to proceed and import the sample ID. To check if it has worked, you need to refresh the database management page by clicking out of the tab and back in again. Now you will see your sample information in the sample list. Select a sample and look in the sample data screen to make sure the import has captured all the information required, for example the date of birth. Now that we have imported the sample details into the software, we can use the batch processing feature to search the CytoSure Interpret Software database for the associated sample and experiment information that matches the feature extracted data and subsequently perform processing without further manual intervention. When the experiment for these imported samples has been performed and the FE text files have been generated, we can begin the automatic detection of the sample data. First, click on Tools and Batch Processing. Now click on the Add Files button on the right-hand side of the batch processing window. Navigate to the location of the feature extracted text files and highlight the ones you wish to process. Click Open and these files will be added to the Files to be Processed table. Now click on the Process button at the bottom of the window. In the options box that appears, select Match Barcodes to Existing Sample Information, and in the Select Slide Barcode field box, scroll down the list and select the Experiment General Expected Barcode option. This is what we assigned during the setup of the file parser. Click OK. In the next Identified Barcode pop-up window, we will select No because our array barcode is combined in the same column in our imported data text file. The software will now begin a search of its database to find the sample and experiment information that matches the array barcode in the text file. When it finds this match, it will begin the processing of the text file. The status of the processing is indicated in the Files to be Processed table. When processing is complete, the analysed samples can be loaded directly into the workflow. Select the files of the sample that you want to review by clicking on the row in the table, and then click on the Load into Workflow button. A pop-up window will appear prompting you that sample information is already in the database for this sample. Click Yes to use this information. The sample details box will also appear to allow you to edit the sample information if required. Finally, click on Continue to open the case in a genomic view and proceed with the analysis of the case.
That's all for this video, but please check out our website for further resources and support, or email support@ogt.com.